So I think we're going to get right into it today.
Okay. Any bookalytics or just straight to author?
Bookalytics, we do have some updates.
Yeah, want me to pull it
We
up?
are up to 154 Spotify followers.
I know, so exciting.
Yep. We
Welcome,
got an
everybody.
yes, welcome. We're so glad you're here. We got another 5-star review
Ooh,
on Spotify.
nice.
Very exciting. And we got a comment on the last episode of Starter Villain from
Oh, we
friend of the
did?
pod, Meg. Yeah.
Meg. Also in our tier of favorite listeners.
Yes. And you want to read what Meg said?
Sure. I'm confused. Is this her name?
So it's so funny because Meg and we go to the gym all the time. And she's like my little sis. And her middle name is like Christian or Christina or something. And her family calls her Chrissy.
Oh, whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
Like alternate universe.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah, I
Atlanta
know.
Chrissy.
My Atlanta Chrissy. Hmm.
That is funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, because I saw her name on here and it was M. Chrissy, and I was like, who is this? Who's stealing my identity?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, do you want me to read her comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Meg said, Charlie totally should have been a clone. I liked your ending theories better. Me too, Meg. Candy's theories were the best. I dare you two to write the author an email and ask if he ever considered alternate endings. And she even put his email, john@scalzi.com. Honestly, I think he'd appreciate it.
Do you want to write it?
I kind of do. Yeah, we should.
Okay.
Let's add that to the list. I'm unemployed. I can send all the emails.
Okay, I would double check that email because Meg's a jokester, so she might have just made that up, but I do think we could get his email.
Yeah, I think so. I think he has a website. So I kind of feel like that really could be his email.
I could see it.
Yeah, I'll peruse this. I'll let you
Okay, very cool. But that is what is new in the Bookalytic stew. A lot of housemaids.
know. I know I was gonna say what's not new is Housemaid Part 1 is still blowing up. We love it.
We love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are still listening. We do have a couple new rankings in the US.
I know, I saw that.
Yep,
Georgia finally overtook Texas as our number one state.
yep. Well, no, Georgia's always been number one, I thought.
I thought Texas was number one.
Texas and Florida were neck and neck for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Florida has been tumbling down, and California has been picking up speed, and Texas has maintained number two spot.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you go into Texas, Houston and Dallas, they are number one and two.
It's because I left Fort Worth. Fort Worth is now
Yes.
number three.
Yes. And the biggest news is Georgia, which has always been our number one because me plus friends of the pod, Anna and Meg, we are keeping us strong. Atlanta, which is my home, is finally not 80%. It is at 79%.
Yeah, people in Stone Mountain coming up.
Mhm.
Welcome.
Coming up. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, so pretty crazy, but welcome all of our listeners.
Hmm. House of the Cerulean Sea Part 1 has been getting a lot of hits too.
Yeah, and it looks like people are kind of listening through that one. Sam said he listened to that series. He liked it.
He did. He had a lot of similar comments that we had as
Yeah,
well. Yeah.
I think not to say we're right. There's no one right way to read a book, but
I feel like we might have been right. I part of me wanted to be like, I want him to read through Starter Villain just so that we can talk about it. The other part of me is like, I don't know if I want to recommend that to him.
If there's an audiobook, he says that he's doing a lot of packing. So I think he has a lot of listening opportunities. So I think,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. I because it's a fun read if you're
yeah,
just like walking around doing stuff.
it
It's
could def
entertaining.
yeah, it could definitely work for that type of thing. And he listens to it on like 3 times speed. So I'm sure it'd take like 30 minutes. It's not super long.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. All right. Are we ready for our new book?
Yes. Yes.
Ah.
So should we do our intro?
Yeah, let's do it. All
Okay.
right. Welcome to Bookalicious, a podcast where two sisters chat about books we're reading. I'm Chrissy,
And I'm Candace
and today we are starting our new book, Such a Bad Influence.
by Olivia Muenter.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay. So do you want to start with judge a book by your cover, or do you want to just give your overall thoughts so far?
Let's do judge a book by its cover.
Okay.
Okay, and speaking of, I need to look up the cover because I got an ebook, and so I kind of forgot what it looks like. But I think the one that I got, it had the red brick kind of looking thing, or it kind of looks like makeup, like powder. No, maybe that's a
Y-
brick.
No, it's makeup. It's
Oh,
like an eyeshadow that's like cracked.
I bet that's going to be part of the plot later.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, it looks like makeup. And then it just has in big letters, such a bad influence. And I think it's a great cover. I'd be interested.
What about it makes you interested?
Um, I think it just looks intriguing. Doesn't look cheesy. Like I would definitely pick it up and read what the back is about. I don't I think though, based off the summary, I don't know if I would go ahead and read all of it. I
Hmm.
don't know what the summary actually says, but I imagine it's something about like influencer goes missing. I don't know. It's not typically the type of book I read, but I like the cover.
I would say the cover is definitely very appealing. You look at it, it feels very like professional. It, not to knock the house, but it doesn't feel like stock art.
Yes.
It's clean, it's simple. I like all of that. I
I
don't know if I saw it that I would pick it up and read it though.
Not even the back cover.
I don't know because I think the one thing that I would knock it is that it doesn't really tell me what this book is about, and the title makes sense when you read the book, but the title doesn't tell me so much of what it's about either. Like this could potentially in my mind be a celebrity memoir title.
Oh, interesting. I don't know. It looks pretty fictiony to me.
Yeah. Okay, so for you, a definite pickup, pick it up off the shelf and look at it. For me, I would be like 50-50. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think so. I'd be intrigued.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay, great. So, are we ready for the author recap?
Yes.
So, this is going to be compared to our other author recaps, a la Gail Carson Levine, very short for a number of reasons. The first one is this is Olivia Muenter's first published book.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, that is really exciting. So, congratulations. I know it's a very big achievement.
Yeah.
So, there's no Wikipedia page. So, I had to cobble together what would be the Wikipedia page.
You should write one now.
I was thinking about that. I was like, should I just like put this up? Maybe. I don't know. I've never published a Wikipedia page.
Well, how fitting. Her first published novel, your first published Wikipedia page.
I know. I know. And then she would realize that someone wrote it and then she'd have to fact check it. Okay. So this is what I cobbled together. This is based off of Olivia's, she has a web page with all of her writings and stuff, her LinkedIn. I had to go to
Oh,
LinkedIn. I got a lot of background from LinkedIn. And she also is an influencer of her own. So she has some followers on TikTok and Instagram.
very cool.
Okay. So Olivia, I think she and I are the same age or very close. She was born in the early 90s. She grew up in the Tampa area of Florida. She attended a private Christian high school, and then she attended the University of Florida for a degree in journalism. Both in high school and college, she played basketball. She had a short study abroad in the Netherlands while she was at UF. And since then, she's had a very active career in journalism, focusing on beauty and fashion,
Cool.
which I was really impressed with because a lot of people get degrees in journalism and not a lot of people do something with it.
Yeah.
So her top credits include writing for Glamour magazine, Women's Day, Refinery 29, Bustle, and the Huffington Post.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. And she currently now works as a freelancer. So these different magazines and stuff, if they want like articles written, they'll like contract her to do a series or whatever it is, or someone wants to write for her website doing copy. She is an Instagram and TikTok influencer. She has 45,000 followers on Instagram.
Wow.
And part of this book involves Reddit. And
Mm-hmm.
I have looked her up before on Reddit. And there is like a whole Reddit subreddit dedicated to like her and
To
her
Olivia.
yeah, and like to her podcast. Such a bad on paper.
Oh, cool. And you've listened to her
Mhm.
podcast, right?
Yes. So I found out about this book because I listened to Olivia and Becca Freeman's podcast, Bad on Paper, and I really enjoy it. It's you just listen to these two young women who are writing and making a career in journalism. I don't know what you call it when you're a blogger. Is that journalism too?
Sure. Writing.
Writing. Yeah. And so that's how I found out about this book. And Olivia was discussing it. And I was like, that sounds like really interesting. So I pre ordered it, show support. And then it arrived. And I was like, wow, this is really good. This is legitimately like, I like this book.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's how I found out about it. So I guess my whole point in saying all of this is that the inspirations of Reddit and like social media, it felt so true to me or how I would imagine it to be. And
Yeah.
I think that's because Olivia has experienced a lot of these.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense knowing her background. She's really drawing from real experience here.
Yes. Mhm. So she grew up in Florida, but she's now married with a dog in an old home she was renovating in Hudson Valley, which is just outside New York City.
Cool.
Her book, Such a Bad Influence, is published by Quirk Books. Didn't know what Quirk Books was, but it was founded in 2002 in Pittsburgh, and they focus on publishing, they didn't say this, but this is what I extrapolated, quirky books for adults and children. So some of their credits include Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, um, My Best Friend's Exorcism, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and the legendary mashup Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
That does sound quirky. I'm
Mhm.
intrigued.
Yes. So on Goodreads, which I think you should give it a rating because it has a 3.8 on Goodreads, which I feel like it deserves more than that. I feel like it needs to be in the fours.
All right.
I gave it a 5 on
Nice.
Goodreads.
Ooh, well, not to spoil our end of book games, but
Well, okay. I will be critical on our Bookalicious games. I don't enjoy being critical on Goodreads. I feel like if I enjoyed the book and I would recommend it to a friend, it's a 5.
yeah, where like the rating matters.
Yeah, right. Like in our Bookalicious games, I'm a dock a point because I didn't like your writing style or a dock a point for this or that. Fine, whatever. But when it comes to like Goodreads, I don't want to be that way.
Yeah, I get it.
So
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing that wrong, but that's how I would do it.
Yeah, well, we'll get all of our millions of listeners to also give it a 5.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, if you liked it, rate it how you like it. But I really enjoyed it and I recommended it to two friends, Meg read it
Oh,
and
does she
Chrissy.
want, yeah. Does Meg want to join us?
Well, okay. So this is a mystery thriller. And I think one of the great things with Housemaid is that we were both reading it together. And so we were theorizing.
That was fun.
That was fun. So in this book, we can't do that because I've now read it.
Oh, you had to scope it out.
Yeah, I had to scope it out. But what I did do is while I was reading it in real time, I was writing notes in all of the margins.
Mm.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read my notes to you, and that will be what it is. And then I'll try to remember back to at that time what was I thinking?
Candy from the past.
Candy from the past. Exactly. Okay, but are you ready to get into it?
Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, yeah. So
Okay.
we're gonna go up to chapter 7 today.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm reading it in real time. Have no idea what's gonna happen, but I'm
Yes.
okay. So chapter 1, it's I think maybe the only chapter from Evie's influence or Evie's perspective. And so
Mm-hmm.
in this chapter, we get introduced to Evie Davis, who is an influencer whose fame started when she was 5 with a video of her dancing with her dad, and it went viral. We see Evie think through the negative comments she's reading about herself, including a handwritten letter from Susan telling her that she should be a better influence, and the many comments on her TikTok that are criticizing her choices in her life. And then she reads a comment that sticks in her brain that says, "I wish Evie Davis would disappear."
Oh,
I know. So, yeah, so
sad.
at that point, we just know she's an influencer, reading through negative comments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, let me see. Yeah, so I thought this was a really good chapter in setting up as an influencer, someone who's famous, it's like you really can't please everybody. And so she's got a lot of love, she's also got a lot of hate. I thought she did a really good job setting up the scene there.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, we also learn about the mom a little bit, and how the mom is kind of fame hungry. Because when Evie was younger, the mom would save screenshots of negative comments and then kind of like shape Evie's life so that she would no longer do those things that the people were complaining about. So like if she wore a dress that like wasn't nice or whatever, her mom would like throw out the dress kind of thing. And so it's like, oh gosh, you're kind of getting that the mom's a little bit crazy here.
Mm-hmm. What are you thinking about the mom at this point?
I mean, at the point to where I've read, which is chapter 7, is like, gosh, this seems unhealthy. There's a lot of lines that come up later where it's like, um, what was it? There's a line. I think it comes up in the next chapter actually, but it says, "People watch us because we have something they don't. Isn't that special?" And it's like, oh, that sounds really unhealthy. It's like, let's just put up our life because it's so great and make other people wish they had it. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, oh, I don't like that at all. So yeah, mom doesn't seem super great in a lot of ways.
Do you feel like it felt like or at least so far, feels like a true characterization of what a mom who is, for lack of a better word, pimping out their kids on socials would be thinking or acting like?
I kind of think so because it kind of reminded me of like the moms on Dance Moms, which I used to watch that show. And it's like a guilty pleasure kind of show, but like their kids were like being abused. And they
Yes.
were like, go back in there, kid. You
Yeah.
got to get the solo. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then looking back, you're like, oh, you would let your kid do that and
Yeah.
have it on film? So
Right.
I think there's probably a good number of parents who are like this when they realize, like, oh, their kid is like something special, or like they just happen to strike it at the good time. Like this video went viral. It's like, we got to capitalize on this.
Do you feel like the mom has bad intentions with the kid, or do you think that she's just like, what do you think?
Um, hmm. I think she just has such misaligned priorities. Like she's not intentionally trying to be, you know, devious or evil or like pimp out her kid, but she's like, this is the best life. Like, what could be better than being famous and having all this money and stuff? And
Mm-hmm.
so kind of choosing that at the cost of anything else. But it doesn't, I don't know if she's really, she doesn't seem like the kind of person who would think through all of the other, side effects. That's my take on it, is that she's just kind of like maybe more simple-minded and doesn't realize all the negative effects of what she's doing.
Simple-minded or short-minded?
Maybe short-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think short-minded is a better term.
Because I could see a world where you're like, okay, this is my kid and this is our job, this is what we do. I don't want her to get lambasted online. So if they don't like this dress, then I'm going to throw it out. Why do I want her to get bad comments? I'm trying to protect her.
Hmm. I took that more as, instead of trying to protect her, she's trying to just up her, popularity and stuff. So it's
Right.
not out of the good for Evie, it's out of the good of their like image, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So
I think that makes sense.
yeah. Yeah, so not a big fan of the mom, especially in the later chapters as it unfolds more. I just feel like,
Hmm.
you kind of become less and less a fan of the mom.
Yeah, definitely. So what chapter are we, or how far have we gotten so far in the book?
You mean
I
as
feel
far
like
as
that's,
summaries go?
yeah.
Um, so yeah, how did we do this for the housemaid? Did we do chapter summaries or did we
I
just
think we
kind of
just I think we just kind of overall talked about it. So you're talking about how the
yeah.
mom is kind of being like the bumpers, the guardrails to the daughter,
I don't know if I'd call her guardrails. She's like throwing
or
her into traffic. She's strapping on like bubble wrap and is throwing her in.
okay, she's being like the Chris Jenner.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, this has happened and we are going to monopolize on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds more
Every
right.
everything's an opportunity if you look at it right.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So she's, I don't know how you would describe that. She's momaging her into success.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we left off
I think that's a good thing.
with your
Good way to
summary.
say it.
Yeah.
The few other lines I pulled out from chapter one when we're like learning about Evie
Hmm.
is let's see, is we kind of see this tension about, just like how people criticize her fame, and saying like she found fame versus it was handed to her versus she built it herself. I just thought that was a really good way to pull out how, words have impact and how the way that you frame it really does kind of change your perspective on it. It's like, well, did she deserve all of this fame? Did she make it herself? Was it just given to her? And like I think that's kind of setting up Evie's dilemma that might be there. I mean, I don't really know much else about Evie as far as what I've read. Um,
Hmm.
but she may be having this kind of crisis of like, how did I get here? And is this what I want to be doing?
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think any person who does success very early on, even if like you're going to the Olympics, if you're a famous actor, all of these things, it requires you doing it very early and not having that traditional childhood. And a lot of times absorbing what your parents' hopes and desires are
Yeah.
as your own. And I do think it would be very challenging to try to disentangle that at such a young age of, do I like this because I like it? Or do I like it because this is what has been given to me
Right.
as my life?
Yeah. This is all I've ever known. But then on
Hmm.
the other hand, it's like, well, you can't really undo it. I mean, you can really try to like kind of just check out of all the social media and go into
Hmm.
hiding kind of. I mean, I don't know, maybe it would work, but on
Hmm.
some level it probably at least feels like this is it. I
Hmm.
can't go back now.
Yeah.
So that's hard.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready for the next few chapters?
Yes.
Okay. So possibly the rest of the book, at least the chapters I've read to now, are told from Evie's sister's perspective, Hazel Davis, who sees her identity in that order as first Evie's sister and then as Hazel. And so now we're kind of getting the inside scoop on like what was the family dynamic life early on? How did Evie become famous? All those things. And we learned that the mom started a family blog when Hazel was really young and before Evie was born. And the mom was documenting their life living on a converted bus.
Hmm.
I know. I was like, wow, I didn't realize staying in a bus for one night would be so helpful in
I
imagining all
know.
of this.
I know. Boots on the ground, investigative journalism.
That was me. I needed to prep for this book. It really did help imagining. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what their house would look like. Okay. So Hazel never liked being in the spotlight, so she was really glad when Evie was born and could take the stage on their family blogs and pictures and stuff. Um, we also learned that Evie and her dad took this dancing video that went viral, and part of why it went viral was because the dad died like pretty much immediately after the same day that they took the dancing video. And so that's what skyrocketed the video's fame. And then the chapter ends with us learning that is talking to a police reporter, trying to remember where she was the day Evie disappeared. So now we've set up the mystery. Evie has
Mhm.
disappeared. We meet Hazel, and now we're realizing like, okay, Hazel and the rest of the world is trying to figure out what happened to Evie.
Yeah.
And then as far as summaries go, I mean, the rest of the chapters is all kind of Hazel talking to detectives. She Do you want to just do like a broad summary and just kind of talk about all of them?
Yeah. That
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
good.
Okay. So, Hazel finds out that Evie has disappeared a week after she's actually disappeared from Evie's boyfriend, Gavin, who Hazel doesn't like. But anyways, so it turns out that the mom hasn't told Hazel that her sister has disappeared. We find out that Hazel and the mom's relationship is really, what's the word?
Strained,
Strained.
fractured.
Yeah, that's a good word. Um, but to help Evie, Hazel goes back home to talk to all the detectives and stuff. And so we just kind of get an insight into what's happening as they're talking to the detective. What's it like with Hazel and living with her mom again? We're getting all the
Hmm.
inside story there.
Hmm.
All right. Yeah. So now we've learned a lot about the mom. What did you think about the mom at this point?
I was like trying to figure out how the mom killed the dad. Like she set this all into motion. I was like, mom hired a hitman. She filmed this thing. She hired a hitman, and she's like, I'm going to the top.
Yeah, so the mom has always wanted to be famous, and gosh, I don't think she killed the dad, but do you think at this point, did you think that she had a hand in Evie's disappearance?
So, okay. So the chapters oscillate between Hazel's perspective, between Reddit threads, like you know, superimposed Reddit threads, getting like the random people's opinions, and then this blog, Such a Bad Influence.
Yeah, I really like that. I like how she did that.
Yeah, I like that too. So with the Such a Bad Influence blog, I was thinking, is that Evie writing it? And is she running away from her life?
Okay, I thought that too, is that maybe did Evie plan all of this? Because part of I mean, her disappearance has become a big thing because she's already popular, but
Mm-hmm.
also became such a big thing because she was posting a TikTok or an Instagram live video. And
Yeah.
she's just doing her normal thing, but then she looks to the left of the screen and that you can see a man coming in, and then the video just cuts off, and then no one hears from
Yes.
Evie again. And so it's like looks really um not dastardly.
It looks suspicious.
Yeah, it looks very suspicious of like something evil is going on here. Um, so yeah, and so I was thinking the same thing of maybe is Evie like she is over this life, so she's just gonna create, orchestrate this whole thing to happen so that she could leave.
Right.
That's kind of that might be my leading theory right now as far as what happened.
Yeah. So I wrote, is it Evie? She's running away, or is it the mom for publicity?
I think the mom would be too obvious, which is why I don't think it's the mom.
Yeah. So when we're thinking about Evie's disappearance at this stage of the game, we have three players, in my opinion. We have Evie. Did she choose to run away? The mom. Is this dastardly plan part two, kill the dad, now kidnap daughter?
She's like, I can be the only famous one.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna bring us to the top. Or is it her boyfriend, Gavin?
I don't think so. Oh, you mean he's the one in the video?
Well, so I had just like put like a little tick next to one of the lines where Hazel's talking to Gavin, and he's just kind of like, oh, like I was talking to the police and this and that. And so I'm like, okay, is the boyfriend in on it?
Yeah. So the boyfriend is also he's a YouTube influencer.
Mm-hmm.
What would his angle be? Like, is he trying to help Evie? Like she's like, hey, help me get out of this. And he's like, okay. Or did he what would be his thing?
It could be a
Or
number of
fame?
things. It could be maybe they're doing it together. You know, he's trying to help her out. Maybe it's part of the bigger plan to get more followers,
Okay.
you know, or maybe it's just like the standard trope of, you know, lover turned murderer.
I don't know. From what we know about Gavin, we don't know a lot. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't seem like lover turned murderer. I could see him trying to help Evie get
Mm-hmm.
out of it. So I could see him being a part of the plan if Evie's the one who kind of initiated all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. He, from what we can tell from all the chapters, he did seem really torn up and distraught over all of this. But he could be a really good actor because he does his YouTube videos and other things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't think he's the devious one behind it.
Yeah. So with Erin, I have this, that's the mom. I have this line, uh, like area. And so this is from Hazel's perspective. I've always known my mom is attractive. I spent most of my childhood envying her dark hair, the smooth waves of it that cascaded down her back, the way it shined. Her eyes, the lightest shade of green. She's petite but curvy. She was, even before the boob job, paid for by her first full year of Instagram partnerships. My
Hmm.
mom could have done nothing at all to alter her appearance, and she would have been stunning. The type of person who people walk by in the grocery aisle and remember her later, wondering if she knows just how gorgeous she is, if people stop and tell her. And I wrote our mom because our mom has dark black hair and light green eyes and is like super beautiful. And I'm like, that's why I was like, Olivia, you are following me around.
How did you know? Yeah. Yeah. I could see
Mm-hmm.
that. I did see some of those similarities too. The mom is definitely another level of crazy and self-obsessed, but
Yes.
our mom is not like
Yes.
that.
No,
But
no,
yeah.
not at all.
But there was another line where I was like, "Ooh, did you feel like this?" Because
Mm-hmm.
Hazel's describing her relationship with Evie, and Hazel is about 10 years older than Evie. And
Mm-hmm.
so she says, to grow up not side by side, but staggered was exhausting. It made closeness something that required work, energy, and effort that only I, as the older one, could give. I thought,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, did you ever feel like that? Because Candy is a few years older than I am.
Um, can you repeat the quote
Yeah.
again?
So to grow up not side by side, but staggered was exhausting. It made closeness something that required work, energy, and effort that only I, as the older one, could give.
Um, I think it was more challenging, especially like when the age gap matters a lot. So like when I'm in high school and you're in middle school,
Yeah.
that's like a big gap. Or like when I'm in college and you're like just entering high school, I do think there was like more intentionality required. I think also though, like Hazel, I don't know if she talks about it here or later, but she goes off to college and then, Evie is just kind of left back at home. And so I did feel a lot like that, and I do think like as the big sister, it is kind of your job to foster that relationship more so than baby sister. What do you think?
Yeah, when I was reading this, I was like, oh, Candy would be that protective of me. And like they have sleepovers and stuff. And I was like, oh, I went to Candy's house after college, and I've been to your house in
Yeah.
Atlanta. Like, it is
Yeah.
fun. And like, yes, I did see similarities there,
Yeah.
which I thought was really
Definitely.
sweet.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is interesting though, because part of the sister dynamic is Hazel's like, I'm the only one who really knows Evie. Like, she has all these fans and followers who think they know her, but I'm the only one who really does. And as we're going through this, it seems like, well, maybe Hazel doesn't know Evie like she thought. At the
Hmm.
end, especially, there's a few descriptions that I think are interesting we can talk about. That is Hazel kind of realizing, like, maybe I don't know who Evie is. Um,
Hmm.
and I think that could be, I kind of related to that too, where it's like, when you are the one who's in high school and your older sister has like gone to college, it's like there's a lot of life happening where it's like, you know, like a lot of changes
Hmm.
happening to where it's like if you don't keep up with each other, it's like you know,
You miss it.
you miss it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. And it's hard too, because it's like, you know, like you said, it's like your life is going so quickly. If you're not there for like the daily updates, it's like your relationships are a couple months long, maybe,
Yeah.
the guy who you like is a couple weeks versus like, oh, we've been together like 6 years. So you've had plenty of time. You've had a lot of opportunity to meet this guy,
Yeah.
see what's important to me. And then like
Mhm.
your desires and wants are constantly changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess while we're on the topic, some of the things that come up in the last um last few chapters is there Hazel is thinking back on like some sleepovers she's had with Evie, and she finds out that Evie has secretly been like destroying things
Hmm.
in her house and then also now in Hazel's apartment, but like
Yeah.
on a really small scale. So she'll draw like really tiny stick figures on the wall, or she'll like poke tiny holes in the wall or like in the floor or something just to see if people notice.
Yeah.
And Hazel realizes like that Evie has done this in Hazel's house and Hazel hasn't even noticed. And
Yeah.
so I I thought that was really interesting. I interpreted it as Evie kind of like calling out for help. She's like, please just notice me and someone actually understand me, but no one does.
Okay. So what did you think about that though, beyond just her wanting to be noticed, or was that
Oh, like
most of it?
is Evie crazy or something?
Yes.
I could see her. I could see just like growing up in the spotlight and always feeling like, your life is on the stage. People are always looking at you. And Hazel has this really good description of an influencer where it's like it's not like a singer where you're just sharing music or an actor where you're just sharing your movie, but it's like you're just sharing your whole life now. And people kind of feel
Hmm.
like they have a right to see it and to say something about it. And like that would feel just awful, I think, to where it's like I could see that making you a little crazy to where you're like, I just need to destroy something.
Yeah. And I think maybe to just like leave your mark in a different way. But I read that and I was like, well, this girl ain't well. She needs a therapist.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would probably be helpful. But I think she also, I don't know, it also kind of, I took it more so as like, yeah, she just needs help and she wants to be understood and no one understands her.
Hmm. So I had a couple of notes in, I don't know what chapter this is, maybe five, but one of them is Hazel is wondering if her mom is like now, like their dad died and then their mom becomes famous and she's just like so tickled about it. And so the question Hazel's posing to herself is, I was too afraid the truth was what it looked like on the surface, that she, Erin, was happier now than she had ever been, that a bigger, brighter life outweighed the sadness of their dad's death. And so my question is, what do you think?
I mean, based off what we know about the mom, that does seem like a convincing, sentiment because
Mm-hmm.
basically the video has blown up like what, 2 weeks or 4 weeks or something after the dad's death. And
Mm-hmm.
Hazel sees her mom watching the video, and basically Hazel has interpreted it. I don't know. I forget exactly what the description is, but the mom is like, "Isn't this great?" And Hazel's like, "What the heck? How could anything be
Yeah.
great?" Um, so it does kind of seem like that a little bit. But I think you could also interpret it as like, I mean, this is earth-shattering for the mom
Hmm.
too. You know, she's lost her husband. I don't know what their financial situation was, but I'm sure it was difficult, you know.
Hmm.
Um, and now like this thing has happened and she's like, well, for me to like protect me and my daughters, I got to do what I got to do. And if it means we're going to really capitalize on this video, it's like, well, all right. And also I've always wanted to be famous. So
Yeah.
so
So
win-win.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't really have that charitable read on the mom.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Cause I read that and I was like, I was still at this point, like thinking, mom's not that bad.
Okay.
I was giving mom a little bit more credit because I was like, maybe she's just like putting on a strong front for her daughters,
Yeah.
you
No, she
know?
seems a little fame hungry.
Um, yes. So there was a couple lines about eating and dieting, and someone who grew up in the 90s, early 2000s, where it was like thin is in. I mean, thin's always in, but it was like if you were not super thin, you were publicly shamed about it.
Yeah.
And so one of them is Evie's 7 years old, and she's like eating eating a sandwich with just like one slice of bread. And Hazel's like, why are you doing that? And Evie's like, it's just like so much bread. I didn't say it in a mean way. I just said that one slice of bread is better, like healthier. And I was like, she's 7.
I know that made me so sad, but I'm like, yeah, I could see it.
Yeah. And this part, like, cut me to the quick. And um, so I'm like, well, it doesn't matter how many slices of bread you have, Hazel says. And then Evie says, then why don't you eat it? She asked, her eyes still on paper. So she's noticed, I thought, she wasn't the only one who'd gotten the bread lecture from Aaron and acted accordingly.
Oh,
And I was like, ugh, I know, because I have a lot of like guilt because I feel like me and mom were always dieting when you were very young and impressionable.
mm,
And it's like, even if you don't say anything, it's like you see it.
yeah. Yeah, that's the water you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think Olivia definitely grew up in the 90s and had similar influences as we did.
Yeah.
It's like everyone did, of like thin and
Yeah.
diets and yeah.
Did you notice that being like younger?
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to think about like specifics. But like, yeah, I felt like like calorie counting was just a thing, you know. And yeah, you want to be thin. I think also though I had other influences like dance and ballet, where it's like you put all these middle school girls in a leotard and tights and put them in front of a mirror all day. It's like, well, that's gonna cause issues.
I mean, ballet is very like thin is always fashionable.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I think I was also influenced by that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, I'm trying to think of like specific things. But I
Hmm.
mean, even on like, the magazines that you see like when you're standing in line at the store where it's like, oh, J-Lo,
Hmm.
look at, this one little roll in her swimsuit. And you're like, oh, can't believe it,
Hmm.
Yeah, so it does just make you very like image focused. And
Hmm.
yeah,
I
yeah.
know because I'm watching Reba.
Reva.
And I think I talked about this on the Ella episode, but it's like they're always giving Barbara Jean like a hard time because she's like quote unquote like fat. And it's like she's so beautiful,
Hmm.
And it's like the Barbara Jean character is like super confident. So it's like that does make it a little better. But it's like there's just so many comments, and you're like, not necessary, but
Yeah.
that's what it was.
I watched The Devil Wears Prada for the first time recently, and
Hmm.
it really stressed me out, honestly, because it's such a bad work environment. I was like, get out of there. But one of the things they say, it's Anne Hathaway, who's the main character, and she's like, frumpy, and she goes to work for this, fashion magazine, whatever. And
Hmm.
they're like, I don't know if you'll fit into any of our clothes. You're pretty plus size or something. And it's like, oh, But also, I kind of feel like that's probably what they would actually say. You know, she's like a size 4, and they're like, "Oh, we don't carry that size."
Well, and Anne Hathaway's, she's a curvy girl.
I
Like
don't
she's
really.
got big bazongas. I mean,
I feel like she's pretty. I mean, I don't know.
she's very thin. She's very thin. I'm not saying she's not
Yeah.
thin, but I'm saying she has a chest where it's like if you're in like those fashion things, they want you to be like a coat hanger,
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, she's
you
very
know?
like normally
She's
proportioned.
very normal proportioned. Yeah, like I would never consider her plus size, but I
No.
could see like in those fashion things where they're like, yeah, you're too big.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
man. So, yeah. But it sounds like all that is kind of changing a little bit. So, I think there's a lot of good things there.
Hmm. So the end of chapter 6, there's a podcast that Evie's on.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think of Evie's like interactions on that podcast?
From just the text, it sounded like she
Hmm.
was very uncomfortable because the
Yeah.
podcast host is like, how did you get to where you are? Like, can you give our listeners some tips? And she's like, oh, it's really nothing. I don't know, really. And they're like, you got to have something. And she's like, really? It was just kind of my mom. And I was like, oh gosh. So the mom's really kind of been making all the decisions. I,
Hmm.
I think Evie just wants an escape.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm more on the train at this moment that Evie has orchestrated this herself.
Okay. At this point of the book, I'm like, it's the mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm like, she had her kidnapped. She and Evie's just on along for the ride. She's just doing whatever the mom says because that's what it's always been.
Oh, that's intriguing.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah, could be. Because, I mean, we do see when Hazel's at home and, like, she's observing her mom and how her mom's acting. The mom has these,
Hmm.
like, very dramatic sobs and stuff when the detective is over. But then she also, like, flirts with the detective to kind of try to get him to, like, push the case up and stuff. And so we do see some things where it's like, is she actually, like, mourning her potentially, lost or like murdered daughter? Like, is she actually
Yeah.
worried, or is she like she's also just checking, Instagram and posting all of her normal stuff still, but kind of
Yeah.
yeah. And so yeah, so either it's she's kind of crazy, and when the dad died, she just was like, all right, fine. I'll capitalize. And now this happened. So
Hmm.
she's like, all right, fine, I'll capitalize. Or she's totally calm because she was behind this to begin with.
Right. Well, that's why I was like, she killed dad. And she was like, perfect. Plan one, done. And now she's like, kidnapped daughter. Daughter's fine. Phase two.
So then what would the mom's plan be? She was like, there's this miraculous, recovery, and then it's just kind of it's another
Hmm.
publicity thing. Yeah, I mean, I could I could see that. I just think that from a book perspective though, I think that one is too obvious, which makes me think it's not that.
Hmm. Yeah. So, okay. So let's see. We went all the way up to chapter 7. So a lot of my lines. Okay. So one of the things is Hazel and the mom, they're at the house. They're with the detectives. They're figuring things out. Mom gets a call and she's just like, you're just hearing the one side from the mom. And she's like, of course, where? Oh God. Okay, thank you. I understand. Bye. She hangs up and walks right past me to her salad, slipping her phone into the side pocket of her leggings, sitting back down at the table. I wait for her to speak to me to relay whatever she's just heard on the phone, but instead she starts eating again. And I said, wow.
Yeah. Mom has, well, okay. So we learn in one of the last chapters that it seems like something really big happened between Hazel and her mom the last year,
Mhm.
because her mom is like, we need to, present a united front. Like, I don't want any of the drama from last year coming up. Like, we need to focus on Evie and make that our first priority. And there's this line where Hazel is talking about her mom, and she says she wanted a family that would stick together through hard things instead of one that was splintered enough to draw blood. And I was like, did Hazel attack the mom? That what
Mhm.
happened last year? Because there's definitely a big wall between them right now, where the mom isn't talking to Hazel, even though she lives there.
Do you think that, like, as the mom, she should be talking to Hazel regardless of whatever happened last year? Or do you think that something so serious could have happened to justify?
Um, it would be hard to think of something so serious, especially because if it was something so serious where I'm thinking like Hazel tried to murder her mom, like I wouldn't
Hmm.
want her living with me then. Like if she's fine enough to live together with Hazel or like to let Hazel move in while they're trying to figure out all this Evie stuff,
Yeah.
like then I feel like you should be comfortable enough to talk to her.
Yeah.
Or it's like, okay, if you don't want to talk about the stuff from last year publicly, fine, but it sounds like you guys should work it out privately because this isn't good.
What if Hazel was doing something to like sell out her mom or something, or like
Mm.
to tarnish her image?
I mean, I wouldn't like that. I think though, but I mean, I think what the mom said, even if she didn't really mean it, I think it's true, is that they need to focus on Evie.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, the mom has orchestrated this and so she isn't worried about Evie.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that was okay. So the mom clearly wants to keep whatever happened last year covered up, and she wants to present as a family unit,
yeah,
like you were saying, to like the public and to like keep everything going as normal to like limit distractions.
right.
And I wrote, is this good advice to withhold information from the police?
Oh, so like they didn't tell the police about what happened last year?
Yeah, she's like, don't tell anyone.
Oh,
I don't know that if that's in this chapter, but it comes up shortly.
okay. Yeah. Well, I think a line like that did come up, and I think I interpreted it as like, don't tell the public kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you really think it's not pertinent, or I think what might be more likely, because, okay, what could be more likely is that it might make Evie or the mom a suspect if they were to share this thing. Because something happens earlier where Hazel is asked by the detective, like, something like, has Evie ever tried to, disappear before or something like
Mm-hmm.
that? And
Run
Hazel's
away.
like, yeah, run away. And Hazel's like, she thinks of something and she's like, nope, never. And like, we don't know what she thought of, but it seems like there's something that has happened before. So,
Right.
yeah.
So do you think it's good advice to withhold that information?
If you plotted all this as a publicity stunt, then probably.
If she's let's go in scenario she's really missing and they don't know.
Yeah, then probably not. Um, but I guess it also could depend on what the information is. Like, would it actually be relevant? Like, okay, so let's say it's Hazel, um, tried to tarnish the mother's good name
Mm-hmm.
publicly or something, and then they had this whole blowout. It's like, well, do you need to mention that to the police about Evie's disappearance? Like, it
Mm-hmm.
could be relevant because Evie could be like, I want out of here, and Evie made her
Mm-hmm.
own scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or maybe it couldn't be. Maybe it wouldn't be relevant. I don't know. Probably though, general guidelines probably should just tell the detectives whatever information you have to help them the best.
Generally speaking, it's like the devil's in the details,
Hmm.
right? Now there you do run the risk of, okay, if we talk about this familial drama, now they might think it's a runaway and they stop looking as like a crime.
Right.
So you do run that risk. So I see that. But at the same time, it's like it might be that it's a runaway.
Yeah.
So anyway, in my opinion, it's like if you're really trying to find someone, it's like you do want to give all the information, you know,
Yeah.
and be upfront. Because I don't know. To me, I felt like that was bad advice.
Although it does, so when Hazel's first talking to the detectives, I think it kind of sounds like the detectives are kind of blowing off the case, especially the guy, because he's like, oh, she's an influencer. What does that even
Mhm.
mean? And so, like, he's
Right.
not really invested. And so I could see her being like, whatever it takes for you to be invested in this case, I'm going to tell you that, you
Hmm.
know? Like if it means withholding something, it's like for now, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
So I could kind of see that.
So at this stage, I'm thinking mom had daughter kidnapped.
Okay.
And when we're introduced to like the little things that she's like destroying or like writing, I wrote, I bet she left a clue in Hazel's car.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So I'm like, I bet she's trying to like get out of it, but she doesn't know how because the mom just runs her life and she's not able to do anything on her own. And so she's like she's trying to write Hazel clues so that Hazel finds her.
Yeah. Huh. I'm trying to think like, could she leave a more obvious clue, like write a letter to Hazel, then like leave it in her house or something? I mean, that's a pretty
Mm-hmm.
giant clue, but
Mm-hmm.
it sounds like she's over there, or she could be over there to do that
Mm-hmm.
instead of leaving like a little stick figure that she might not even see. I mean, for a book perspective, the stick figure would be a lot more, intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that's
I
realistic?
could I could see a world where it's like if you feel like you have complete surveillance over you at all times, you have no privacy, you have no agency, and this is like your only outlet to like get like messages out. I could
Hmm.
see that being like, and maybe she's scared to say, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
thinking the mom's like, this is what's going to happen. This is what we're going to do. Da, 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 da.
Can you imagine? That'd be so awful.
I know. Yeah.
Maybe it is the mom.
Hmm.
I don't know.
So I was thinking the mom. And then when we get to the Reddit threads, there's Princess Leona. And I was like, I feel like this is Hazel or Evie commenting.
Oh.
I don't know why. I was like trying to like figure out, can you turn Princess Leona into I am Hazel?
Yeah. Some Tom Riddle action.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking that I was trying to look at the usernames like, oh, why these usernames? I couldn't really come up with anything, but I didn't think about it super hard.
Well, so Princess Leona says, I'm a private investigator and I can tell you like the photos and pedophiles, like they look at these photos. She's like, these monsters take photos of famous kids, superimpose them on the darkest, sickest images you've ever seen, just because they have like their particular face. Erin has been told this, I'm sure. She must have been told 100 times by now. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a whole FBI file of the dark websites Evie Davis's face has ended up on, starting from when she was 5. She kept putting her effing kid on the internet, though, and now here we are. Gee, I wonder what could have happened.
Oh. So maybe that's the blow up between Hazel and the mom.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm thinking Princess Leona is that username is Hazel or it's Evie.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Interesting. Ugh, that made me so sad. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
probably does happen.
Now in the mystery, now there's the author has layered in another scenario. So it could be the mom, and this is staged. It could be Evie. She's run away. Gavin, I'm putting there as just standard. Okay. Or it could be a sick, twisted fan.
Hmm.
So a real kidnapping.
Right. Hmm. I don't know. It could be. I mean, I think for the police's perspective, that's pretty likely. I do really love Hazel's. There's just a lot of really good descriptions in this book. But one of Hazel's descriptions is that there's a Venn diagram of people who love Evie and people who hate Evie. But in the
Mhm.
middle are the ones who are the scariest because they feel ownership over Evie.
Mm,
I was like, oh, that's a good description.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's not someone who's like has sending her death threats. It's someone who's like, I love you because you're mine. And
Yes.
yeah, I can do whatever I want with you, basically.
So where are you leaning out of these different scenarios that we've outlined?
I'm still kind of thinking Evie.
Runaway.
Runaway. What if it's Hazel? What if Hazel orchestrated it and all we're seeing through her personal perspective is actually a lie?
Unreliable narrator.
Yeah, yeah. She's like she's telling us, so we're off her tracks too.
Hmm. I never came up with that scenario. And I think it's because I identified so closely with Hazel.
Hmm.
I took everything that she said at face value. I didn't even think twice about it because I was like, yep, that's me. That's exactly what I would think.
Yeah. I mean, I never thought about that till this moment either. I'm just trying to come up with ideas. And that would be really interesting. That would be kind of interesting if we get like a housemaid type of flip halfway through where it's like the voice
Hmm.
changes and she's like, "Thank gosh, I'm out of my mom's house now. Now I can
Yeah,
actually go find Evie." Ooh, that could be kind of intriguing.
that could be interesting.
Kind of like that one actually. I think it's Hazel.
I, yeah, so I think that I never thought of that when I was reading it, but that is like a really interesting perspective, right? Because I think one of the things that you'll see throughout the book and through these chapters is that you have a tug of war of mom and sister,
Hmm.
and Evie's in the middle.
Yeah,
And so it's kind of like anything that we're kind of accusing the mom of, we could probably flip it and it could be Hazel.
that's interesting. I mean, as in like the mom's perspective would be like, "Oh, Hazel's trying to control Evie's life." Like that kind of thing. Or like Hazel's
No,
actually trying to control.
like not that she's trying to control her life, but like we could say, oh, Aaron staged the kidnapping to get more famous. And you could say Hazel staged the kidnapping with Evie to get her out and put her in witness protection program or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. I'm on Team Hazel now. I kind of like that theory.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, I like it. Hmm. Things to think on.
All right. So do you think Evie is part of her disappearance,
I think
whether
yes.
it's runaway or some kind of staging with mom or sister?
I'm gonna say yes.
Hmm.
She's not actually somewhere like, trapped, terrified for her life. She's actually in a nice hotel somewhere.
Hmm. Yeah.
She's camping in the redwoods.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Because it's like, it is kind of part of me is like, if it's a crazed fan, how would they know where she is? But then you have like Kim Kardashian, right? Where it's like she got um kidnapped or not kidnapped, she got robbed at gunpoint. They like hogtied her. They put her in a bathtub in one of her famous
Oh my gosh.
hotels. Yeah, because she's an influencer and she was posting like everywhere she goes, everything she's doing in like real time. So people were able to like track her, even though she had like security and stuff and everything.
That's awful. Yeah, I mean, I think it wouldn't be too hard to find because she was at a conference too. She was at like this beauty thing that a lot of people
Yeah.
were going to, and they knew she was going to be there. So I think it wouldn't be too hard to go there, spot her, and then just kind of follow her,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So could be crazed fan. I don't think so though.
Yeah. The Craze fan to me felt not in line with the flavor of the book.
Exactly. Yes, this isn't that kind of book.
Yeah, that's kind of how I took it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's definitely focusing on the relationships between mom, daughters, and sisters.
Hmm.
And so it's got to be one of them.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of what I was thinking too at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other thoughts or predictions?
I did have another prediction. So we learned somewhere that Hazel says that she's actually Evie's half sister. And right?
So, okay, no, she's her full sister,
Oh,
but everyone thinks they're half sisters because Hazel, in comparison to Evie, is like average,
I
bigger
thought
girl.
I
I
thought
know
Evie
exactly the
said
line.
herself. Or no, Hazel said herself.
No, I'll pull up the line.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, they're
Well, okay, no. So I found the line.
They're
Um,
like, you're her half sister, right? And you're
right.
like,
That's what the detective says. He says half sisters, but then she doesn't deny it. She says, I'm 10 years older and we don't look alike. So she doesn't deny that they're not half sisters. So
oh, I
that's
guess
why I
that's
thought
true.
they are half sisters. But then she refers
Oh,
to both as her, as you know, her dad and her mom. Although she calls her mom Erin also. So,
okay. So I could see how you could read it like that. I never took it like that because they have the same dad and the same mom from everything that's been described at that point. I took it as Hazel is so different from Evie in like looks that people feel like they must be only half related.
right. Well, I think we get that too. So, like, that's definitely for sure. They don't look the same. So people are surprised that she's the sister. But I
Mm-hmm.
took it also as they're also just actually half sisters.
Interesting. Okay, so if they're half sisters, what does that mean then?
So I think they share the same dad, but not the same mom. That's part of why
Mm.
the mom also always liked Evie more. She's like Evie's stepmom kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
I know, I know. So that's my thought. Um, but yeah, I mean, she always refers to Erin as my mom. You know,
Hmm.
it's like she never comes at herself that the mom isn't her actual mom. So maybe,
Well, if you're tying it back to how maybe Hazel's not a reliable narrator, maybe she's not giving us all the details.
oh, yeah, that could be it.
Hmm.
I could see that.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. So maybe I'll stick with that.
Okay.
They're half sisters, share the same dad, not the same mom.
Okay. And that's kind of started the dynamic of why they're fractured. You
Yeah.
think Hazel kidnapped sister?
Yeah.
Is sister involved?
Yes.
Like they plotted together?
Hmm. Well, I don't know because it would be a lot more believable if they didn't.
Hmm.
But also she wouldn't want, well, okay, maybe they didn't, but maybe, whoever took Evie, it's one of Hazel's friends or whoever, and as soon as the friend took her, she's like, "Hey, it's okay. Hazel sent me."
Hmm.
So like Evie isn't sitting somewhere terrified.
Does Evie want to be kidnapped or
Um,
disappeared?
I think I kind of feel like the vibe I'm getting is she's just so beaten down from not being able to make her own decisions. She's like, oh, another thing someone has decided for me.
Yeah.
To where it's like on one level, she's like, yeah, I do kind of want to disappear. But on the other level, it's like, I wish you would have told me,
Hmm.
you know? So yeah, but I think Evie wants her own life.
What do you think about Evie and Aaron's relationship?
Um, I think Evie probably like, loves her mom. Um, but I think she also wants to be her own person, but just doesn't see that as a possibility.
Hmm.
Like she doesn't know how to get out of it. So in that way, she'd like kind of like escaping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe actually, what if no, maybe the mom is another thought I've had is that maybe the mom is Evie does kind of view her mom as kind of abusive
Mm.
because there's a line that she says when she's talking about little stick figures she draws. She says, it's hard to worry about the things you don't really see at all. And so I think she's saying her sister hasn't been worrying about the things that Hazel has missed between Evie and Aaron.
Hmm.
I think actually, never mind. I think that's where I am, where the mom, Evie realizes this is a bad situation. She
Hmm.
wants to get out, doesn't know how.
Hmm.
And maybe, yeah, maybe Hazel came in to save the day, but she couldn't tell
Hmm.
Evie because then, the mom might find out.
Hmm. So, okay, so you think they're in cahoots. Sisters are in cahoots to topple Big Bad, which is the mom.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Hmm. Intriguing.
Do you think if Evie could be an influencer without her mom's influence, without her mom managing her, that she would be happier?
Well, I don't know. Because then I think we'd be saying, given the choice, she would still want to be an influencer.
Hmm.
And does she? I mean, on the one hand, it's given her a lot of money. That's pretty
Hmm.
nice. Um, on the other hand, she doesn't like, all the details and marketing and stuff like that that her mom takes care of.
Hmm.
So if she wants to be an influencer, sounds like her mom's very helpful for that. Um, but on the other hand, it does just sound like she just wants to make her own decisions and have her own life. So maybe she
Hmm.
wants to be done with the influencer thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. So it maybe on all accounts, yeah, she'd be happier without her mom
Hmm.
as the manager.
Hmm.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I could see that.
Hmm.
Let's see what else. Any other thoughts?
Hmm. Let's see. I have a few other lines I just thought were really good. But as
Oh
far as
yeah.
plot goes, um, I don't know. Did you think the mom flirting with the detective was her way of like, all right, this is the only like leverage I have for you to get to care about this thing, so I'll pretend to like you and whatever to help the case? Or is she just like so misaligned that she's flirting with a detective while her daughter's missing?
I think she doesn't, I think she just is always doing that. That's just her way to
Relate to people.
not even relate to people. I think like maybe it's like she's always using people for something, you know?
Oh,
Her relationships are very transactional.
yeah.
So I think maybe closer to like the first thing you were saying, where it's like she wants like the detective to do something for her, pay attention to this case. So she's going to do these flirty things with this person that she's not interested in at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good point.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Okay, what are the lines that you pulled out? I want to hear them.
Ooh, okay. So let's see. I've shared a lot of them. Okay, one of them that I thought was just funny was Hazel is looking for a job. So it's kind of strange because her sister and mom are like millionaires over there, and Hazel's like, I'm doing it on myself. And currently she's unemployed. So she doesn't have a lot of money. And she is saying that finding a job was a job in itself too. Benefits include no benefits at all and a rapidly decreasing sense of self-worth. I thought that was a great description.
Yes.
I love that. And also it just made me laugh and I was like, yeah, that is how it feels. And then Hazel also has a description of like kind of what you were saying of like the mom's relationship to Evie and then Hazel's relationship to Evie. And she says that Hazel's like the biological mom, Erin is the adoptive mom. She allows Hazel and Evie to have a relationship, but she limits it, otherwise she'll get replaced.
Hmm.
Oh, that was a good description.
Hmm.
Yeah. If Erin realizes she's like, I'm not really mothering how a mother should.
Hmm.
I just need control,
Yeah.
you know?
Did you, as baby sister, ever feel like tug of war between me and mom?
Um, I don't think so. I think I did view you as like a second mom though,
Yeah.
especially when we were younger and like you'd help me with homeschooling and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
help.
because I know like sometimes mom would be like, oh, like maybe you wear like this to prom or something. And I'd be like, well, she doesn't want to wear that. She wants to wear this, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think I did definitely feel like when I was going to college, I was like, all right, I'm ready to like be on my own and make my own decisions.
Hmm.
I think I definitely felt that. So I might
Hmm.
be reading some of that into Evie's choices to run away.
Did you feel like mom would make choices for you? And did you feel like I would make choices for you? Did you feel like you were having to like accommodate to one of us?
Um, I don't know. Maybe when I was younger, when you were both
Hmm.
here, I think when you moved out, then it was different, I think, from what I'm remembering. I don't know. Is there
Yeah.
something that you're thinking of?
No, no, I was just wondering because
Yeah.
I feel like that dynamic that dynamic between the two sisters and the mom felt very similar.
Yeah, I could see that because I mean, I think I definitely like am, want to like please people, and like I
Hmm.
really cared about what you thought and what mom thought, and so yeah, if that ever
Hmm.
did come into conflict, then I think I probably was
Hmm.
in turmoil. I was like, what do I do?
Yeah,
But I can't think
exactly.
of anything in particular.
Well, because we're not like super toxic like that,
Yeah, that's true.
you know.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. But yeah, so I could see this dynamic playing out in your author searches. Does Olivia have a sister?
I didn't see that.
Hmm.
So when I was reading this book, I was taking this sister dynamic from like, if I'm being meta, where I feel like Olivia is both Evie and Hazel. And that would be one of my questions for the author.
Oh,
So like
interesting.
there's this influencer side of her, and then there's like her like more authentic side of her.
Oh, that's intriguing.
Hmm.
Hmm. And so then it's like who's gonna win out? Like the
Hmm.
influencer manager
Hmm.
part as shown through mom or the authentic side
Hmm.
through Hazel? Interesting.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah. I think we should email our author questions
Yeah.
to Olivia. I mean, maybe she'll answer, maybe she won't. I don't know. But I think that could be cool.
Yeah. I'm looking at her Instagram now to see does she have any pictures with her sister? But I mean, I haven't looked very far.
I think that would be a good question. Maybe she does have a sister who does not want to be an influencer and she's never posted.
Yeah.
I mean, that could totally be.
Yeah. Yeah. Based on real events. Oh my gosh. I do see this picture posted in May and it's so hilarious. Well, actually someone else edited Taylor Swift holding the book Such a Bad Influence. I love
I
that.
know.
I think that's
I
so
know. I thought that
funny.
was really funny.
Yeah. Man, okay, but yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. Oh, one last thing. It mentions the mom's Pilates reformer that they call the Beast. Did you look up
Oh
what
my
that
God.
is?
No.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah. That's like a real thing.
Yes. Yeah. And I have seen one of these. And I was like, oh yeah, it does look like a torture device. Like this one.
Oh my God.
Has all these things that you can like hang from and put your legs on and like do all these different things, but like on its own, it does look like you could use it for torture.
Yeah, that looks like a torture device.
That's one of those things, like sometimes you go to the gym. Have you ever done the calf raiser machine?
Uh, yes, I've done it before, but it looked different from those.
Yeah, yeah. They have a few different versions, but there's this one where like you're seated and you put a weight basically on your knees, and then it's made so that when you lift your heels, it raises the weight. So it's like isolating just your calf. But I saw this and I was like, I would have no idea what to do on this if someone didn't tell me, or if I didn't see someone else doing it. Because I'm like, it
Yeah.
is like what do you do? How does this work? And so and so I feel like the Pilates reformer is the same thing where it's like if I just happen upon that and be like, what happens on this thing? What is this
I
for?
know.
I have
You're
no
doing it
idea.
like totally backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is it for my
Yeah.
glutes? Is it for my arms? I don't know.
It literally, yeah, it looks like some weird bed with like a bunch of things hanging over you for like, I don't know, like adult time. That's what it looks like to me,
I don't know. It
like adult activities.
oh no. It could be anything.
It could be anything. It's whatever you want it to
Use
be.
your imagination. Yeah, sure. I mean,
Yeah, I really liked Olivia's writing style. It felt very like authentic to me.
yeah. And I really like her descriptions. I think she has a really good way of describing the world and putting you in it.
Yes. Oh, so who do you think writes such a bad influence?
Oh, I like your idea that it's Evie. I hadn't thought about that before,
Yeah.
but I think I like that. I hadn't thought about it a ton, but I did have that same question of like, oh, who's behind this?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Yeah, or it could be one of her influencer friends, and this is kind of where Hazel's like, "Oh, I don't actually know my sister." Because there's
Hmm.
this whole influencer friend who actually knows Evie. Oh, yeah,
Hmm.
there's an influencer friend who knows Evie on a deeper level, or at least a different level, because she's also an influencer and she can relate to Evie in a way that Hazel can't. And so, oh, you know what? Maybe it's the bad influence blog writer who's behind this. New theory.
Okay, new theory.
Yeah, it's her influencer friend who's behind it, and they're able to make this all happen. So both Hazel and the mom don't know what's going on, but maybe this will help bring them together because now they're going to be united on something. New theory.
I like that one.
I kind of like that too. All right, cool. Thanks for discussing this first part of what's it called? Such a Bad Influence. Our favorite one.
Next book that we're going to be reading, we're going to do a throwback to Gail Carson Levine's Fairest. So if you got that 3-book special like I did on Amazon for $15, then you already have it in
Yeah.
your library.
And if you haven't read it, you should.
You should.
It's great. Well, we haven't reread it, so it'll be interesting to see what current us thinks, but I think we'll love it.
I think so too.
Yeah. All right. So feel free to rate the podcast, leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about this episode. We love responding to your comments.
Yes. Yeah, you can drop a comment in Spotify or you can email us at bookalicious. Wait, what is it?
I don't know.
Bookalicious@gmail.com.
I think, no, it's Bookalicious
No,
Pod. Is there a dot?
bookalicious.pod@gmail.com.
That sounds right. I don't know. It's in our description. We haven't emailed ourselves in a while. So
It's been a while since I did a fake email. Yeah, but email us any comments or if you have any book recs.
yeah. Yeah. We are actively looking for those.
Yeah. All
All right.
right.
Cool. See you next time.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.